Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to yet another of the fabulous, celebrated, highly anticipated interview series for the Loudini Rock and Roll Circus. Today, I have on with me, this guy's a friend of mine, and he's also a very talented photographer. He's done photography work for bands around the tri-state area for a while now, including my band, Lombardi's Strangelove, as well as Super Monkey. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Michael Goltz to the program. Michael, welcome. How are you today?
Great, Lou. It's great to be on the Loudini Rock and Roll Circus.
So, Mike, give us a little bit of background. Like you said, I'm looking at your bio here. It says you've been doing photography for 25 years. Like, how did you get started in photography?
I got started in photography in high school during the yearbook journalism class that I took, and ended up photographing a lot of the yearbook and learning to shoot photography the old way, manually, where you had to control everything and there was no auto anything. And little did I know, carrying around that camera for a year, that would become, a big part of my life later on.
So you learned a lot by just taking a lot of pictures, is what you're saying?
Yeah, we had a teacher who taught us how to understand the technical aspects of photography, and then just set us free with cameras and film. But back then it was film, so you couldn't really waste pictures because every picture had to be paid for and developed and, pay for the film. So it was a great learning experience.
What do you like about, well, first of all, what is your favorite kind of photo shoot to do?
My favorite, I love events. So, when I shoot bands, when I shoot weddings, I love events. Most photographers either love events or hate events because they cause you to have to think on your feet, and there's really no chance to reshoot. Let's say you're making a great action on stage and I want to capture that. I really only have about 2 seconds to capture that. So I can't just say, hey, Lou, stop, do what you just did over again, because that would ruin the show. So I actually enjoy the challenge of that.
Okay, so you like the sort of action of what's going to happen at a live event, what's going to happen next, see what you can grab, see what you can capture.
I love, especially in concerts, I love seeing the way the lighting interact, the musicians on stage.
How important is the lighting, Mike? Or can it all be fixed in post?
Okay. So in post, you really can't make a haphazard shot look amazing in post. But if you take a great shot, you can make it look just out of this world in post. So the lighting, to get the lighting accurate, is very important, but there is a little bit of, especially if you have a great shot, there's a little bit of leeway in post.
Okay. It's like recording music. If you have a great performance, a great take, anything you do in post just enhances it. But if you can't. An old friend of mine used to say, you can't polish a turd. So,
right, exactly.
If you got a turd, you got a turd.
Yeah, if you lay down a great guitar riff, and in post you can just make it sound out of this world. That's the same way with photography. If I take a photo that's like, I don't like it, I'm not going to mess with it in post. But if I take a photo that I'm really like it, then I'll mess with it quite a bit in post and make it to where I love it.
Have you, in terms of photographing live events, concerts, whatever, do you have anything that stands out? Like that was like, oh wow, this just turned out really, really great. It was better than I hoped for. Some sort of awesome moment.
Actually, the first event that I ever photographed, and it was when the bishop of the Russian church was made a bishop, and it was the first event I'd ever photographed. And I really didn't even remember anything from high school of what I was going into, and the photos turned out amazing. And it was about a 3.5-hour event, and I was the only person there with a camera that was allowed to photograph, and that was kind of what just got me hooked on it and saying, yes, I've got to do this.
So you had a really good experience right out of the gate, so that's really kind of what made you really want to go more with that. That's great. So what bands have you photographed?
Super Monkey, Strangelove. I photographed Patty Spadaro a little, photographed Jeff Fetterman once or twice, just photographed Highway 4 when Super Monkey was playing, just a couple others I can't remember, but those are the main ones.
So you like to so you like that kind of work though?
Yeah, I love that kind of work.
So So okay, and now say a band wants to do a photo shoot. What should they? Because this is going to be a question that yeah, because we know, everybody knows, not just photographers, but a lot of us in the music business can look and say, oh my God, what were they thinking? That is a terrible photo. So what can a band do, first of all, to kind of plan out how they're going to do a photo shoot? Live concert aside, because sometimes you don't have a lot of control over that. You're at the mercy of whatever the house is going to do with the lighting, etc. But say you're going to do a photo shoot. What should a band be thinking of? How should they plan that?
The first thing they should think about is the message they want to send by the photo. How the setting, the lighting, how they're posed, that all affects the message that they're sending with the photo. Do you want to send, yes, we're an ass-kicking heavy metal band, or do you want to send, it just depends on what kind of image you want to, and that's very important that you discuss with your photographer, hey, this is the image that we want to give with this photo, so that then, the lighting and the location and everything can convey that message.
Is it worth it for a band to spend the money to get professional photography?
It's always worth it to work with an established, or maybe not established, but with a professional photographer who knows what they're doing with lighting, what they're doing with posing, with all the technical elements of photography that I'm not going to get into. This is your chance to make your band look amazing. So spend a little money, get someone who knows what they're doing, and make your band look amazing.
So a band is looking for a photographer. Is there questions that they should ask to kind of get a bead on if this is somebody they can work with or not?
You should definitely talk with the photographer, ask what their experience with both portraiture and events, because portrait photography, for posing for, a set shot, is very different than event photography. And when I first got hooked on the event photography, my ex-wife made me stop and go learn how to do portrait photography for that very reason. So I had learned, all the elements of lighting and all the various things that went into it. So it's very important that the band ask to see examples of the photographer's work. That's probably the best advice I can, give, is make sure you see what they're capable of, and see if you agree creatively.
Okay.
Because you don't want a photographer who's got this is how I do it and I'm unflexible, and you're thinking a totally different direction. That might give you a bad taste in your mouth.
Could you talk a little bit about location shooting versus the controlled environment of a photography studio?
Location, outdoor location shooting, again, is something I very much enjoy. I'm doing 3 location shoots this afternoon with one model. And it can be very challenging, but it can also be very, very rewarding. The sun can be your worst enemy. If it's too sunny, it could cast harsh shadows. But, a good photographer can also use those things to his advantage, depending on the image that you want to go for.
Okay.
And it's the same thing for photographing outdoor concerts. Outdoor concerts give a totally different feel and quality to the photos than indoor, where the lighting's all controlled and everything.
What about going into a photography studio? Is there any? Do you have any thoughts on that? Any recommendations? Any advice or anything on that?
The studio is that's the area where the photographer has the most control.
Okay.
Because you can have as many light sources as you want. You can have the band perfectly lit, like I said earlier, where I can't say, hey, Lou, stop and play that guitar riff over the way. There's none of that, because I can say, okay, we're going to take this photo again and make sure that it's just absolutely perfect. So, but at the same time, you have the other end of it, where if you just go in and don't put any effort into it, the photos could end up looking really bad and cheesy.
Right.
So yeah, this photography studio is a great thing, but it still requires an element of creativity and thought and planning, so that, because you want your photos of your band to grab people, and they say, wow, that's a great photo. We got to go check out, Strange Love, who's playing Friday night. You want that to happen.
Well, the thing of it is, too, and a lot of you guys out there that are listening, you're like, oh, I'll just get my friend to take a picture of us with his cell phone. And, okay, that's great, but that's going to look like your friend took the freaking picture with a cell phone. It's not going to be professional. And, guys, today you are judged you're not judged according to what the next band down the street is doing. We have the Internet, so you're judged according to what Led Zeppelin did. You're judged according to what the Jack White is doing. You're judged according to what Lady Gaga is doing. That's the sort of level of professionalism that people expect to see. It's not that they're being jerks. It's just that what we've been trained to look at. So the idea of this, like I'm going to take some stupid photo and that's going to be my band's photo, is you're only hurting yourself. And what happens is when somebody in the business sees that, guys, they say, "Oh, amateur." And then when they see a photography done by somebody like Michael, they see, oh, these guys are pro. And it says a lot about what you're trying to do. It says that I'm serious. We invested a little bit of money into this, so we're committed.
That actually happened back in December, and a friend of mine and I met a tattoo artist who was going to do some work for us. And after we met him, we both went away going, this guy's not a pro, he's a beginner, and we didn't want to work. So, yeah, exactly what you're saying.
Yeah. So, well, Michael, how can people get a hold of you? Go ahead and throw us all the, everything. Website, okay. Social media, phone number if you want. If they can write a message on a bathroom wall somewhere and get you a however.
They can get a hold of me on my website. Michael Goltz Photography.biz. That's MichaelGoltz Photography.biz, all one word, except for, .biz. They can get a hold of me on Facebook at facebook.com/GoltzPhoto. They can follow me on Twitter at GoltzPhoto. They have a Model Mayhem account. They can get a hold of me on Model Mayhem. I'm looking up my number right now.
Model Mayhem, guys, by the way, is a very cool site for finding people to do photo shoots with. So if you need some attractive people in your photo or in your video, or to come out and do promotional work for your event, your gig, your band, somebody to run the merchandise table, man, it's a really good resource, and you get to see people and it's a little more professional because most of the people on there are paying for an account. It's not, and it's moderated. They try to keep the weirdos down, but there's always weirdos in the entertainment.
The Model Mayhem number is 222-4304.
Or you can just search that number when you go to modelmayhem.com. I think that's how you do it on there.
Yeah. So. And that'll and if they want to call me, they can call me. My number is it's like Ohio number, though I live in Pittsburgh. It's 216-956-9584. All
right, there you have it, guys. Please consider, with all your heart, soul, and mind, getting professional photography, okay? And as much as you can. I mean, not just so we have a band photo. Get if you can, get somebody to every gig, because people love photos. Social media loves photos. That's the biggest thing, by the way, guys. If you want a lot of engagement on your social media, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, Tumblr, photos are it. People like videos, but photos seem to be even better at getting engagement. And yes, selfies are fun and all that stuff is cool, but really professional photography, if you really want to put out that image that, yes, we are pro band, pro artists, and we are really, really ready to go to the next stage. Michael, thank you so much for joining us. We will make sure that your links and everything are on the screen and everything when we do the YouTube video, so people can stop and reference that. So thanks a lot, man. What do you got going on today? You doing anything fun?
I'm doing 3 photo shoots with a model this afternoon.
Yeah, with a model. See, guys? See, maybe if you guys get sick of rock and roll, maybe you should go into photography. Anyway.
Yeah, I have a beautiful brunette, and we're doing a couple evening gown shoots, and then we're doing a sunset shoot.
Oh, you poor thing. All right, well, don't work too hard.
I won't. Thank you,
All right, Mike, take care, Mike. I'll talk to you soon, buddy.
Okay, thank you.
Bye-bye.